Have a nice day, everyone. I will continue in the mathematics, arithmetic, the term or the expression, the ratio. The ratio in mathematics here is how many times one number or quantity contains the other one. Take care, these quantities or these numbers has the same units. When the two quantities are measured with same unit, we call it ratio. But if the quantity or the number that measures with different units, we don't call it ratio, but we call it rate. Rate of change, rate of growth, rate of this. The ratio may be expressed in three ways or three formats: in fraction, or with a colon, which two dots over itself, or with the word 2 between the numbers. Like here, 5/7, this is fraction, or 5:7, this is also ratio, or 5:7. This is the three formats or three ways to write the ratio. In geometry, we used many times the relation between the circumference of the circle and the diameter here. We know that the value of pi is considered as 3.14 or 22/7. Okay? The circumference of the circle to its diameter here. Pi. This is letter in Greek called pi. Okay? In aviation, there is some ratios we used it. Aspect ratio for the aircraft. This is the ratio between the span. What is the span? The span is the length from the wingtip at the left to the wingtip at the right. This length called span. Okay? To the chord. The chord, what is the chord? The chord is the width of the wing. Here, if the wing is constant area here, so the chord is equal here. The chord constant here. Okay? But here, in this aircraft, swept here, the wingtip, the chord is smaller than at the root. Here, the chord at the root is larger than here. So, this is not constant here. So, how to divide the span to the chord? Here, we can go to the mean aerodynamic chord here, the mean, the average here for each wing. Okay, so we know the span and the chord or mean aerodynamic chord. And the engines, reciprocating engine or piston engines, the compression ratio here of the engine at the piston. Here, this is two volumes here. Volume here and the other volume here. The ratio between them is the compression ratio. Okay? Here, in the gas turbine engine, there is two ratios we use them. The first one, the bypass ratio. The bypass ratio, you see here, refer here, this is two parts of air here. The first part goes through the fan here, here, and here, surrounding the fan here. But this part called is core. So the air enters the core and air enters the bypass stream. The ratio between the bypass over the core, we call this bypass ratio. The bypass ratio, the ratio between the mass flow rate of bypass stream to the mass flow rate entering the core. Look here, the word rate, because the numbers is not the same unit here. Okay? Here, the compressor pressure ratio. Compressor pressure ratio. Where? Here. This, assume this is the compressor, one compressor and one turbine. So this is the stage of enter. The air enter the compressor at stage 2. This is the inlet. And the exit of the compressor at stage 3. So this value here divided the value here, we call it compressor ratio here. The compressor pressure ratio here. Okay? We go to other ratio here. Air to fuel ratio. The mass of air to fuel to mixture here. The ratio of the weight of the air to the weight of the fuel in the mixture being put into the combustion process, combustion area, or combustor. Okay, internal engine or the turbine engine or so and so. And the aircraft glide ratio. The glide ratio, when the aircraft not use the power, the engine failures, the two engine or engine failure, so the aircraft will fly, gliding. It's the ratio between the forward distance travel to the vertical distance which descend when the aircraft is operating without power. Here, no power, no engines, so the aircraft will go down. Here, this is the distance, and this is the vertical. That the ratio between them called glide ratio. Gear ratio, mechanics, or any machine or any transmission of motion is the number of teeth. Each gear represents 2 gears are used in an aircraft or any vehicle, cars, cycle, tricycle. Here, therefore, the speed ratio of the 2 gears is inverse or opposite of gear ratio. This is the smaller one called pinion or input or driver, and this is the output or driven. Okay, so this is the ratio between the teeth here and the teeth here. Okay. An aircraft also, the Mach number. The Mach number is simply the ratio between the vehicle or plane or rocket or so and so, the velocity, divided by the speed of sound. Okay? If the Mach number smaller than 1, we call this subsonic. If more than the sound of the speed of sound, we call it supersonic. If more and more, hypersonic. Okay, so there is many definitions for this ratio. The last one, the golden ratio. The golden ratio, known as the golden section or golden mean. This golden ratio, if the condition is okay, satisfied. If A plus B, two variable, divided A equal A over B, equal here called phi, not by, phi, PHI. Okay, here I PHI, phi. Also, in the human here, human body, you will see this ratio, the golden ratio, 1 to 0.616 in the body here. If you go to details, go to the encyclopedia and go to that. This is about the ratio. Short notes about the ratio. Thank you very much and goodbye.